Welcome to It's Debatable, the show where we debate anything and everything just for the sake of arguing. My name is Doug, and as always, I am debating my pal, my friend. He's the Apollo Creed to my Rocky Balboa. Steven Schramm. Schramm, how are you?
Great. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. You know, there's been some crazy things going on in the news. What do you think about it?
The news?
Yeah, the news. Yeah, it's been really crazy, right?
I think it's depressing. Always. So I actually don't even really pay attention to it too much.
So you're misinformed. Great.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
fake news.
So one thing that has been going on, I just want to get this is my question because I love asking questions. Did you hear about Miss America?
No.
Oh my God. Miss America just got caught saying racist comments on camera. So if you were famous, it'd be pretty easy to just not be racist in public, right?
Of course.
Yeah, you'd probably just do it in private. Great. And then we have our producer, our engineer, Jeff. How are you?
Doing great, Doug, as always. How are you?
Really good, really good. And our judge. This is a very controversial topic, so I'm really happy that he's here because he's really controversial. If that makes any sense.
Hi, Doug.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good.
Good, man. I'm really excited to do this one. So what do you got for us?
So today's topic will be, should kids be allowed to watch Rudolph?
Better go home with your folks. From now on, gang, we won't let Rudolph join in any reindeer games, right?
Do you want your kids to be normal?
Yeah.
Don't let them watch it. It's terrible. There's mixed messages that are throughout the whole picture. Clay animation off the bat, scary. So they use that to get these kids to feel comfortable and watch these messages. It just tells you what you can't do in life. And you want your kid to be able to do what they want and to thrive and achieve and not just be beaten down by the man in the suit.
I can't believe Doug already won me this debate in his opening argument. He said, you want your kids to thrive and achieve and don't be put down. That is the exact message of Rudolph. A guy that is outcasted because of the way he looks, never gives up, comes back, saves the day, never gives up on himself. The lesson that teaches is there's no value you could put down on that, for your kids. Plus, it's freaking Christmas time. Kids love to watch Christmas shows. Why? This is probably the best one that has ever been put out when it comes to like claymation. If you look at like Santa Claus is coming to town, Frosty, all that stuff. Rudolph's been around since like 1964. There has been not one generation, but multiple generations that have been raised watching this, and everyone turned out fine. People like to say that there's a mixed messages when this comes to the thing. It shows, bullying and things like that. But the greater message it shows is not to succumb to the bullying and believe in yourself. Go fly that freaking sleigh.
Okay. The first question we will have is, if we change the story to where the red nose is acceptable in the reindeer world, what effect would it have on the other reindeer?
What do you mean? Like you change it to no one even bullied him in the first place?
No.
Or?
So if having his red nose is completely acceptable and everyone else that didn't have a red nose, how would they feel if, Rudolph had attention and it was like...
They would feel fine. The bullying never would have happened. I mean, maybe a little jealousy for sure, but that's another thing you got to learn to live with, in your life. I mean, you're always going to get jealous. You're going to experience emotions that are a little bit selfish in your life, but you got to learn to regulate those and be a productive member of society. And you have to experience these emotions to be able to conquer them.
Okay.
So you're saying to be a regular member of society, you have to conform to everyone else. So Rudolph, he just has a different nose. He can still help out, but this fat guy in a suit, he has the other reindeer just bully him around and then only uses him and then says like, hey, I can't use your kid in this. I don't want to use him. And then as soon as it's foggy, he knocks on his door. It's just about using kids. This is terrible.
It's about rising above. Basically, yes, if you say, I didn't want you to be a part of this team and I didn't want you to fly on the sleigh and I treated you like shit through this entire 60-minute special, but now I need you. Kids see how Rudolph responds to that, and it's about rising above, being the better person. People are going to be shitty to you in your life. Do you want to stoop down to their level, or do you want to rise up and be the better person? Rudolph freaking saved Christmas. What kid looks at that and goes, I would never be the guy that said, well, fuck you, Santa. You treat me like shit through the entire thing. I'm not doing it. You want to be the one that saves Christmas. Makes you feel good inside.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah. So you're saying everyone watching the story of Rudolph is a positive message, and that every kid is going to want to rise above being bullied and show other kids the example of, not reacting a different way. And
From a kid's perspective, absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Was there ever time you watched Rudolph when you were a kid, right?
sure.
Okay. So you watched Rudolph when you were a kid. Was there ever time you walked away and that made you feel bad?
No.
You always felt like kind of wholesome, like it worked out in the end. Rudolph's kind of the shit, like rose above it. It only takes a shitty adult's eyes to look at Rudolph in a shitty way.
Okay.
So as a child, yeah, it does teach them that.
And Doug, you're saying that Rudolph shouldn't be watched by kids?
No, they shouldn't. It's a terrible story, the whole thing. I'll just ramble off like 3 or 4 points of why my daughter will not be watching this horror film. One is right away, you're picking out the kid that looks different. So my daughter watches that, goes to school. Maybe a kid, I don't know, has a mohawk or alopecia, and has spotty hair. I don't know. Then they start pointing at it, and then they play their reindeer games, kick them out. That's not cool. And it teaches a really horrible lesson. You're watching the movie, it's like, oh, don't judge a book by its cover. Oh my God, look, the Yeti actually ended up being nice. No, if my daughter runs into a Yeti in real life, I want her to call the authorities because those things are dangerous. But in that, they bring him inside. They actually let him inside. Yukon Cornelius, which is questionable that he's able to, hang out with children and a little elf. Kind of weird. He comes in. He lets the Yeti in there, put the star on top of the tree. That Yeti terrorizes people. Why would you put your whole everything at risk?
It must be really hard to have a heart as black as you do and see things through the perspective that you do. First
Yeah,
of all,
realist,
How
yeah.
dare you question Yukon Cornelius' character? That lesson in that part of the movie was about companionship. You want to teach your kids about companionship. Reindeer, an elf, and a ginger get together, and they're all outcasts, but they find peace within each other, and they help each other. It's about helping. And you look at it through the eyes that you do, and you're going to spread that message to, offspring. I feel bad, man. I don't want to see the world we live in a couple generations. Rudolph's a heartwarming story, and it teaches kids to rise above, and it's just sad that you would
Rise
even-
above. It's about being used. Santa's like, screw you, go stay in the corner. Oh, it's foggy. Okay, we need you, light nose. It's not a good message. It's only using people. It's like if you had one kid in your neighborhood, he was really tall, he had a disease that he was like Andre the Giant. He just kept growing and growing and growing. You guys made fun of him, called him a freak, outcast, and then, oh, you guys needed to get your ball out of the tall tree. You call that kid? Oh, that's a great heartwarming lesson. He is, rising above. No, it's not. It's terrible. It's using people.
Dude, we live in a world where everyone's so politically correct right now that everyone's got to tiptoe around each other's feelings. Like, the fact that we're even debating this is ridiculous. But
It's not.
But the thing is this is the way it works. And I've said this before. This is the way it works. Sometimes kids get bullied. Sometimes they don't. I got bullied a little bit as a kid. I rose above it. Rudolph taught me that. And, you join in into society. You find your niche. You do what you got to do. Not everyone's going to be on the same level, man. Like, everyone finds their niche in life. And Rudolph helps you find that. What was his niche? He can guide the frickin' sleigh. Nobody even realized that before it happened. So the message that it delivers is one of you will get acceptance. It will happen. Don't give up. And the fact that you don't support that, man, it's freaking. It's pretty communist.
It's pretty amazing.
Was
Communist
Rudolph a
is the word
part
I
of
was
the
looking for.
whole reindeer team to begin with? I don't remember.
What was that? I couldn't hear the beginning part because Shram was trying to make fun of me, but he couldn't think of a word.
Was Rudolph a part of the whole?
No, he was not. His father, Santa came over and he said, "Ho, ho, ho, Donner, I want to meet your offspring. I want to see the guy that's going to be on my sleigh team." And then he was like, whoa, the nose started blinking. Santa had like an epileptic fit. He freaked out. He was like, oh my God, get this freak away from me. Wow. So then what Donner did, so his son can be normal, he puts like coal over his nose. So the nose isn't red blinking. And everybody's like, and then somehow these stupid reindeer pretend that, they're like, oh yeah, the guy that had the blinky noise, he moved out of town and the Donners have a new kid that doesn't have a blinky nose.
So Rudolph's father putting that black nose on Rudolph's nose, was that aiding into to aid in bully prevention, or was his father really ashamed of his son? Like,
Oh,
why?
he was ashamed of him. He was like the people throughout the country. They're like, oh my God, my son's gay. I got to send him to one of those pray the gay away camps. And then what is that doing to anyone? Let them be who they want to be. If he has his red nose, you wear that red nose proudly.
Everyone had a lesson to learn in this special. Everyone. And it wasn't that he was ashamed of them. People are afraid of what they don't know. This is the first red-nosed reindeer that ever showed up in the North Pole. It freaked people out. If a spaceship landed in the parking lot today, Doug, right in front of your face, would you be terrified of it? Would you be like, what the fuck? Treat it like shit? But what if it was friendly? What if it was friendly? But it's all about not judging. People are afraid of what they don't know. If they've never seen it before, they're going to be a little hesitant about it. And it took everyone learning a lesson collectively together through that special to realize not to be that judgmental. But you got to get through it for the first time. You know, the first time that like we met Native Americans, people were probably a little afraid. Like, I've never seen that with the giant feathers and, you know, the bow and arrows and all this other crazy stuff. People were probably freaked out by it to the point where we gave them blankets with smallpox and shit. Like, that wasn't right. And here we are today. We have tons of Native American reservations. We know how they were normal people. It's fine. But in the beginning, you're afraid of what you don't know.
The fact that you have to say that they're normal people makes me feel like you don't think they're
But
normal
that wasn't,
people.
I do, but that wasn't the mentality 200, 300 years ago.
Wow.
So this Rudolph epidemic, this mindset is like 200-300 years old. And if I did see a spaceship in the parking lot, I'd be cool. It'd be the 5th time I've ever seen an alien, so that's fine.
Wow. Do you think Santa was proud of Rudolph?
Hell yeah.
He was proud of him because he got something out of him.
Yeah.
If it wasn't foggy that night, he would never have knocked on that door. He'd have been like, hey, Donner, how's your freak-nosed kid doing? That's all he would have said. He wouldn't have been like, oh, I can't get anything out of him. And since then, the only time he ever needs him, if it's foggy or the basement light goes out. That's the only time he calls Rudolph.
So you're saying, like, he doesn't use them every Christmas?
No, he can't use it. Well, in his mindset, he's like, oh, I only need him. You know,
When it's foggy.
this is an 8 reindeer team.
No, Santa realized how shitty he was, and Rudolph's there every year.
No, he's not.
You
Look
know,
at every
the big thing is
No,
Rudolph.
no,
Rudolph
no.
is there every single year, part of the team, leading the team. Dude went from zero to hero.
Is he
what
like,
a fucking
is he
heartwarming
team
story.
captain? Is he like
Yeah, hell
reindeer
yeah.
team captain?
Hell yeah.
He's never mentioned. I just watched a
What do you
Christmas.
mean he's never
I just
mentioned?
watched a Christmas Chronicle with Kurt Russell. Great Santa Claus. Great hunky Santa Claus. There was no Rudolph in that.
Wait, was it a Hallmark special?
No, it was not a Hallmark special. No.
Okay,
It was actually good.
just checking.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Just want to drop Danica Collar's name for no reason right now.
Wow, that happened.
Yeah, it did.
All
Call
right,
me.
so you're saying Santa, he was proud of Rudolph, but apparently
No, he didn't. No, he's not proud of him.
he's not proud of him. Was Rudolph's father proud of him? You think? Well, it seems
He probably
like,
only on the outside, but not in the home. He probably was like, "Oh yeah, that's my boy, man. He's look at him lighting everything up." And then when he gets home, throws him in the closet.
But was he like? It kind of I don't know. Was he embarrassed of his son or wasn't he?
He was embarrassed till it made him look good.
Well, like we said, he had to learn that lesson. He wasn't embarrassed. He was just afraid of what he didn't know. And at the end, he literally tells Rudolph, and by the way, Santa didn't knock on Rudolph's door at the end of the movie. They were all in the room together, hanging out, but Christmas had to be canceled, and Rudolph's nose was flickering. Santa was like, can you put that thing away? And then, boom.
And then he's like, "Oh, I
lights
can
on.
use that."
Lights-
See, you even just proved it for me. He said, "Put that thing away," and then he used it. You just
But then he realized how, like, what we're debating right now is, should kids watch this?
no, they should.
That moment, that boom, lights on, is that epiphany moment that is translated into children's minds about not judging, rising above, don't go around bullying. His father literally walks up to him at the end of it and goes, I'm sorry. I didn't realize, but you're you, and I always want you to be you. Think about how many people could take that lesson with them when they want to tell their fathers things about themselves that they don't think their fathers want to hear. It's going to be okay. Because Rudolph's father said it was okay.
Well, that's great. They take how long is the movie? You know, cut for time, 45 minutes for commercials and stuff. So you're gonna get your kid to sit down for 45 minutes. 30 minutes, they're already doing something else. They're bored of it. So the message they got is, you know, this is ridiculous. The first 44 minutes of the movie are just ostracizing, bashing, just showing kids the way you shouldn't treat others. If people want to be a dentist, dude, this elf wants to help people out. He says, "Oh, you know, Hermie." He's like, "Oh, I want to be a dentist," and this guy just bashes him. He's like, "Why would you want to do something like that? It's so stupid." Makes me sick.
Because you're teaching your kids that we don't live in fucking Candyland, man. Like, you're going to have some people in your life that are crappy. Like, don't raise these fucking pussies that come up and literally can't handle a mean word said about them. There's no anything going on. You got to learn that there's going to be shitty people in your life. Be better than them, though. And that's what Rudolph was.
Even in the North Pole,
Absolutely.
there's some shitty people.
Fuck yeah.
Shitty reindeer.
Yeah.
Did they have a reindeer teacher?
No. I don't. Oh, yeah, they did. Blitzen. Blitzen was the reindeer game coach. He had a little
Oh yeah,
hat.
he was a real bully. Yeah, he basically pointed. He's like, "Get the kid with the red nose,"
They didn't do any like
and then he ran away.
They didn't haze. Did they haze them?
I can see them hazing.
You think?
Yeah, antlering. You know what antlering is?
I have no Jeff.
There was no hazing done at all. There was bullying.
I don't know
There
about that.
was, but-
I saw an ESPN 30 for 30 on reindeering.
What do you think? They fucking put soap in socks and fucking...
No, antlering.
No, they jam them with.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you think Mrs. Claus would say about all that? Did she have any say in?
She probably loves Rudolph, you know?
She was so busy in that special, though, because remember Santa was skinny? She's like, eat, Papa.
She was
eat."
just
Oh,
trying to-
another one. Fat. She's skinny shaming Santa. You just pull up another point that makes it even better.
Wow.
So if a kid's watching that and the kid, has anorexia, bulimia, some kind of eating disorder, then you got to hear this white bitch on TV saying, "Eat, Santa." Nobody likes a skinny Santa. It's like, fuck you, lady. I do like a skinny Santa because he's in shape. He's nice.
But you just played into my point, because if somebody does have a disease like that, anorexia or whatever, they're being told to eat. Like, it's okay. Like, be fat. Everyone loves Santa. He's fat as fuck.
Not in this movie.
Not
Apparently.
in that, and she shames him. She shames him about it.
Wow. All right. Closing arguments.
Rudolph is a national treasure to cinema and television in this country. I mean that. It's been around for decades. It teaches the lessons that kids need to know. They got to know that not everyone's going to be nice. It's not always going to be fair, but don't be a pussy, and rise above and be the best you that you can absolutely be. The people that are crappier to you might come for something later in life, and you could stoop to their level or you don't have to. And that's a great message to send to children. It's heartwarming, and it's Christmas time. It's just, it makes you feel good inside. And
lot of
it's
good songs.
It's one of the best ones. Yeah, it's tons of. Burl Ives was the narrator. Sang a ton of good stuff. I want my kid to see it, and a lot of kids do. And, like we said before, you never walked away as a child watching that movie thinking that you had seen something wrong. It took to being an adult and having someone as black of his heart as Doug to see it through those eyes. And it makes me sad for where the world's going.
Flashback to 1992, little fro me sitting there watching the TV, and I remember just looking at my mom. I said, "Mommy, why are they bullying that red-nosed one?" She's like, "That's what the world's like, and that's not what I want as a kid." And that really did something to me. There's so many different life lessons that are horrible to teach kids. It's a great time of year. It's a loving time of year. It's about being together, and I have to watch this special that they shove in my face where we're skinny shaming people. We're not letting people be who they want to be, and we're just using people. It's teaching kids when they get older, hey, if somebody can do something for you, their trade, one thing that they're good at, only call them when you need them. It's terrible. And I have some evidence to,
Oh man,
if you want to see it.
there's an envelope
Yeah.
in Doug's hand.
Hold on
God,
1 second.
The anticipation is killing me.
All right, so this is evidence A1. Last time A was Shram. This time he's expecting a photo, but no photo. I'm going to have the help of Mike Wilson is going to help me read this. You just want to grab that. You can grab that microphone over there if you want. You're going to read the part of Hermie.
Hermie, okay.
All right?
I thought it was Herbie.
No, it's I think
Hermie?
Hermie.
I think
Yeah.
it's Hermie.
All right.
That's what I know.
Is your mic on?
Can you hear me?
All right, great. So I'll start it off. I'm the head elf. This is a scene. Hermie is working in really bad conditions. He's not enjoying it. What's eating you, boy?
Not happy in my work, I guess.
What?
I just don't like to make toys.
Oh, well, if that's all. What? You don't like to make toys?
No.
Hermie doesn't like to make toys. Oh, shame on you. Mind telling me what you want to do?
Well, sir, someday I'd like to be a dentist.
A dentist?
Well, we need one up here. I've been studying. It's fascinating. You've no idea. Molars and Caesars and businesses.
Now listen, you're an elf. Elves make toys. Now get to work.
Not for you.
Finish the job or you're fired.
Why am I such a misfit? I am not just a nitwit. You can't fire me. I quit. Seems I don't fit in. Well, such is the life of an elf.
And that's it. That's all you need.
All right.
He just shamed him. Hermie was trying to do something nice. He wanted to, they need dentists up there. They eat a lot of candy. They get paid in candy from what I hear.
Two things. And I'm coming strong now.
Oh, wait.
This is twice where Doug has
No,
had
he
to
already
bring.
spoke.
This is twice where Doug had to bring out props to try and get the judge to sway him. I use my skills as a master debater to come out
You
here.
just said that.
to-
And
I
then you
did.
said the word come.
I did say to come out here and do what I do without needing any props. That's how desperate he is. Second off, where is the lines on this about how even this guy realized at the end, just like everyone else, that he was a judgmental person and he shouldn't be. His teeth started hurting, and Hermie made him a dentist appointment at the end of the thing. Come see me Monday at 10 a.m. Dude was totally awesome with it, and everyone learned a
gave
lesson.
him a
at the
filling,
end.
right?
And yeah, you need a filling, and everyone learned a lesson at the end. So suck it.
Wow.
Horrible. Still a horrible lesson. Again, using people only when you need
By
that.
the way, Mike Wilson, that was amazing.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
stepping in.
Good
No.
job, Mike.
But again, just to add before Tom gives his verdict. Again, to add to my point, he only used him. He hated in his dream of being a dentist until he had an issue. That's all this movie's about. Only ask for help when that person can do something to help you.
This is going to change my whole outlook on this.
I hope
movie.
so.
I need to rewatch this. But there has to be a decision made. Should kids be allowed to watch Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer? Doug, you brought up that there's a lot of singling people out in it. His dad seemed like he was ashamed. Mrs. Claus was body shaming Santa in it. I mean, it kind of looked like they were around a sweatshop, so there's questionable things going on there. But Steve brought up that the companionship, the loyalty, the just positive message that this movie sends. There might be some fucked up things in this movie, but at the end of the day, kids should be able to watch Rudolph.
Fuck yeah, they should. And how dare you pull those parlor tricks on me with that one scene, with not letting everyone know that it changes at the end. People who haven't seen this, watch it, because the scene that Doug read is a small piece of a greater lesson.
May I just say that you almost had me swayed with that. I mean,
He almost had me.
It was incredible.
He did.
I mean, Mike,
was.
Mike, that was outstanding.
It was.
That closing argument was
was
huge.
that was-
It was like
Do not, sir, today, do not feel defeated.
I feel like shit. Because now kids are gonna
shouldn't-
some parents are gonna listen to this
You know
and be
what?
like, I wasn't gonna show it. They're gonna do it, and then that kid's gonna do like 9/11.
You should go
too.
home and watch Rudolph and see how he overcame.
so you brought up when the kid is watching it and then he walks away and the only message you got was the first
The
20
bullying
minutes
part, the
of
first
movie.
45 minutes of
That's
bullying.
when you as a parent you sit them back down and you say, watch this fucking movie.
Jesus.
This guy has 2 kids. He knows what he's talking about. And also, like Jeff just kind of said, learn from what just happened here. You lost. I argued against you.
He just said I
Tom sided with
won.
me.
He just said basically don't feel defeated. So what are you saying? What am I learning?
well,
I did a great job.
Come back for the next one. It doesn't happen often, but try and win one. You could do it. I believe in you. Show me that red nose.
God, I hate you. Well, no, if I wore the red nose, you'd only call me if you needed me for a foggy day or you needed something in your basement and the lights were out. Jesus, Shrem, how do you feel?
Great.
Well, I feel like shit. But on a positive note, if you want to see me and Mike Wilson perform Hermie and the Head Elf at your local VFW, it could happen. Let us know. And again, thanks for listening. Remember to review, rate, and share our podcast. Follow us on Twitter at We Like to Debate and on Instagram at